You have just literally thrown months and months and months of work under the bus by selling out to these villains. And I have all respect for you whatsoever. All I can say to you is shame on you.
I'm speechless. What? I'll show you the whole video that the Rideshare Professor did, and I'll give you my full response. Hi, my name is Levi, and this is the tip you in the app Daily Drive. First, I want to thank the Daily Drive sponsor, Tonquin. With Tonquin, you deliver car parts instead of people or food. Tonquin works just like any other gig app. That's Tonquin, Tonquin, Tonquin. And I also want to thank the show sponsor, Rideshare.tax. April 15th is coming soon. You're going to have to pay your taxes. And Rideshare.tax is your solution to file your taxes. I've linked to them down below. Check out their website. Use the code Levi, that's L-E-V-I, for 10% off. That's Rideshare.tax. Rideshare.tax. Okay, let's watch the Rideshare Professor's full video, and I'll respond afterwards.
So I just want this Lyft driver to be very, very honest with me. How much did Lyft or Uber and Lyft together or the politicians in Minneapolis pay you for this interview with Fox, right? Because you have just literally thrown months and months and months of work under the bus by selling out to these villains. And I have fuck all respect for you whatsoever. Oh, I'm earning great money. That is not what the other 95% say. This is why they were fighting. So Uber and Lyft pulling out all the stops, right? Paid Governor Walz, veto. Paid Mayor Frey, veto. Paid that Republican guy to come into the mix late on. Paid those people with disabilities to get on the show. Now paying drivers. I mean, the desperation level stinks. It reeks of shit, of dog poo, of cat piss, right? And here you are throwing your fellow brothers and sisters under the bus. All I can say to you is shame on you.
I actually make more money doing Lyft than I do at my regular 9-to-5 job per se.
Timing, huh? Bring out this guy.
Reaction from one rideshare driver after the Minneapolis City Council passed a bill to implement.
Interesting how you suddenly came out and made this video, right?
Our Karen Scullen talked
Timing.
today about the city's decision, and so Kerry has an interesting story to tell about his experience as a driver.
Right, Travis Joseph works about 20 hours a week for Lyft, and he makes really good money.
Oh, really good money.
Drives for Lyft or Uber if they're doing things right. A 5-year Lyft driver with well over 10,000 rides, Travis Joseph says it's great money.
I'm in the realm on a slow day, $50 an hour to almost 100. There's bonuses, there's tips, there's bonus areas. So it just depends. So I'm not sure how these people are making $15, and every driver and rider I've talked to has the same confusion.
But Joseph says you do have to work at it, hit the busy times. He gets up at 4 a.m. and works 4 hours before heading to his other job. Joseph wonders if drivers who aren't making at least minimum wage are really doing what it takes to be successful.
So we have to look at what the apples to bananas, I think they're comparing, instead of apples to apples, when they're getting, you know, high cancellations, bad behavior as drivers. They're also, you know, not taking every ride. And then they're not out at the right time, sure, you're not going to make money. It's supply and demand.
Joseph showed me his Lyft payments for the last 2 weeks. He's making almost $50 an hour, working 20 hours a week. Last year, he made $65,000 from Lyft.
Sunday through Sunday, I'm working. But if you do it right, you can make the money.
I drive at least 1 or 2 of them a day, and someone at the casino that works there. And missing legs.
Joseph is frustrated that the Minneapolis City Council passed the minimum wage rideshare driver ordinance, possibly forcing Lyft and Uber out of the city.
Timing.
He hopes the state steps in to stop it, because for him, it's a flexible, high-paying job he needs to make ends meet.
Cars are a tax write-off, your cell phone's a tax write-off, your insurance is a tax write-off. I'm not sure how they're not making money.
Now, one more thing. Travis says you can't go to the airport and just sit for hours and wait for a ride like some rideshare drivers actually do. He says if you put into it what should be put into it, you can be really successful. And again, with these wages that they're currently making right now, we're live and even.
I question the timing. You step forward right now, right after the disability video, right after the political video, in comes the driver video. They may have found one guy, right, who they could have potentially fed some really, really decent trips. He says he's done 10,000. 4 o'clock. That is not the norm. Average driver is not getting up at 4 a.m. So he might be out there cherry picking a few good ones and have a decent run. But you don't represent the thousands and thousands and thousands of drivers that are, trying to push for better conditions, trying to push for better pay. So I most importantly here, I question your timing coming out right now and speaking on Lyft's behalf. Now, the one and only thing I will agree with him, and that is, it is not worth it to sit in an airport, right, napping or on the phone and waiting and waiting and waiting and burning hours and hours and hours waiting for these trips, right? Get a couple of trips a day because you hang out at airports all day. That is not how you make money. But okay, I mean, at the end of the day, really here, this is who we should ask. Minneapolis drivers, if you're in the house, Minneapolis drivers, Twin City drivers, is that guy the real deal or is he a sellout? And let everybody chime in. Is he the real deal or is he selling out right now?
Rideshare Professor, I encourage you to rethink attacking fellow drivers. I mean, here's a man whose livelihood may be taken away because some, not 95%, but some, a small group of drivers decided to use the strong arm of the government to get their way. And they won. And if Lyft and Uber decide to leave, and that's their right to leave, this driver, Travis, will lose his income. And by the way, so will all the other drivers that won. I mean, this guy is working his market and making good money. He drives the odd hours, 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. Every driver knows that's when there's a lot of good, profitable trips. You even admit it at the end of your video. You acknowledge he's doing what it takes. He's not sitting around parked at the airport declining rides at noon on a Saturday. That's gig work. He's taken your advice. He's cherry picking. He's working the hours that will pay him the money that he wants and that fits into his schedule. That's a man who's hustling to do what it takes to feed his family. Travis has done like 10,000 trips too. By the way, he brought receipts. I mean, he's proof he's happy with his income. What receipts do you have by making this accusation? This driver owes you nothing. He owes none of us anything. How dare you attack him for his timing? The timing was because they passed the law, so he spoke up. And you have the gall of accusing him with colluding with a villainous company? You're basically implying he's a villain. A fellow driver a villain? Let's be frank. Uber and Lyft suck at times. They need to get better. But they're not villains. And by the way, what's this driver supposed to do anyway? Just roll over and lose his income because other drivers want it that way? You say he threw drivers under the bus. Months of work. What about his years of work? I ask you, who threw who under the bus first? Don't you see the irony here? What do you think you're doing with your video? Now, Rideshare Professor, I think you're one of the smartest guys in our industry. You've helped me learn how to make money in my market. And I thank you. I don't agree with a lot of what you say, but you're funny. You're a great content producer. And I respect that you're trying. we drivers, we need people like you out there fighting for us against these global conglomerate companies. And I appreciate it. But man, you can't say you're fighting for the driver by attacking drivers that just disagree with you. You're a leader. You should treat other humans that disagree with you better. I encourage you, just keep your guns pointed in the right direction. All right, Travis and any other driver that's feeling slighted by lawyers and union organizers and politicians and I guess content creators. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be an opposing view. Travis, you're a good man for defending your livelihood. You did right. And don't get bullied and bend the knees to others. Know that I'm cheering for you, man. I think you're doing it right. I hope you're safe. I hope you make good money this weekend, and I hope Uber and Lyft don't pull out. I really do. Be well, be safe, and I'm cheering for you.